My mother sent us down to Somerset, where my grandparents lived, a village quite near to Yeovil.
Okay.
And we stayed there for that because the schools were closed. That was the first reaction.
We were evacuated for a short time. My parents made a decision that we would stay together as a family. And but when the doodlebugs came, they were very unpredictable because it was quite scary. They'd come over and you hear the buzz, and then it would just stop, and you knew that within so many yards it would just drop down. And that was when there was a few houses that were lost. They were horrible. So we went away when they were very bad, and we went up to Yorkshire, which was like going abroad in those days. We didn't speak the same language, and they didn't like me very much until I think it took me a fortnight to speak with a Yorkshire accent, and I was okay then.
What actually happened in the early part of the war, they had the evacuees from London, and the evacuees came to the villages, and they were billeted in all the houses in the villages. And of course the local school that was then inundated with all these extra children. I mean, there was as many as 50 and 60 in a class, whereas pre the time when the evacuees came down from London, we only said about 20, you see. So, this had an effect, I guess, on the education of all, really. It wasn't a good time, really.
We stayed in this wooden hut, and it was all very, very basic. My mother was having to cook on an oil stove, and we were collecting water from the stream outside. But we did it.
There were evacuees at all schools. All schools that were evacuated to the Egham area obviously had to share their school facilities with the local schools.
We only then went to school because the school couldn't cope with the increased number of scholars. We only went in the mornings for about 3 months, and the evacuees went in the afternoons. Eventually they sorted that out a little bit and hired a hall nearby, which became the evacuee school, and then we went back to full time.
People welcomed them with open arms. Although the people that they were billeted with, they were paid by the government only a few shillings a week for each child to have these children in their homes.
Yes, I think we had one staying with us for a short period. There was one particular boy, I can't remember his name, Feinstein, I don't know, and I didn't. Yeah, I mean, we did in the end finish up a lot of the evacuees actually stayed in Virginia Water after the war. So there was quite a good friendship built up.
Well, I was at Strode's Grammar School, just up the road here, as a pupil, and it wasn't long before we had Rains School from Stepney billeted on Strode's. So consequently we were sharing the school with another school, which was obviously limited lessons, but well, we were at a state of war.
Yes, that happened here in Egham, you see, although it happened before I came to Egham in 1952. Well, of course it happened in the war down at the Arkle shop. There's a little plaque on the wall now down at Tesco's commemorating that. You go down and see it on the wall down there. One was the Arkle child, and the other two, I believe, were evacuees from London who came to stay with the Arkles, and of all the places they came from London to get away from the bombs, they got killed in Egham. Very sad, that.